All right, welcome to training, everyone. And as Colleen just described, we're going to be doing the law of the harvest. So the top 10 real estate farming ideas. There's going to be a short video towards the end of this that's going to kind of encompass everything and put it together for you in an easy way to kind of do it through RPR and some of the resources that we have at our disposal. So just keep that in mind, and we will also be action item asking you to pick two of these topics and try them out over the next week. All right. Let me move this one forward. There we go. All right. Why farming and prospecting for clients? So we've talked a lot about different ways of prospecting for clients. And a lot of what the top agents are doing is this exact method. So your farming is, what you're trying to get for your next client. So a lot of agents rely on just referrals and the relationship building. But what happens in markets such as this, the problem is that, family and friends aren't buying or selling right now because it's just not what's the right move for them. So farming these areas is what's getting yourself really up for the next kind of wave of real estate. So this type of hustle, it's tied into the geographic spot. So you're basically picking a spot. So picture a farm. You have all this land. You don't just get the crops just because you have the land. You've got to plant the seeds, and this is going to help you for future business. So we talk about consistency a lot. Farming is basically the process of getting consistent results later on. So the more you're putting out, the more you're adding to your sphere, the more prospects you're getting in. That's what farming is. This is the initial grassroots part of starting the process.
And it's also a way of them like getting to know you without you really talking with them. They're seeing your face, you're branding yourself, you're sending out 2 postcards a month. You're developing a relationship with them without even talking with them. It's just they're seeing your face, you're more human, and around the 6th, 7th, 8th time it'll be a deeper connection. So that's the whole point of the farming.
Correct. And so what you want to do is, on this slide, it's talking about, you want to find the right neighborhoods, crunch the data, determine if it's a good fit for you as far as certain criteria of what you're looking for and what you're looking to accomplish with your farming efforts. And then the prospects that we're going to go in the next couple of slides is going to give you what you should be doing as far as the action items. But this is, as Colleen just said, this is about getting yourself in front of these people as much as possible, as often as possible, and really owning this market. So your neighborhood market updates. So this is something you can do that's fairly easy. It's kind of can go with anything, if you do a monthly newsletter or whatever you're trying to do. But sending monthly or quarterly comparative market analysis to the community members. Basically what this is doing is this is identifying yourself and separating yourself as that local expert. And you really want to make sure you're branding yourself as that local expert. So when you're sending it to, let's just say, Trillium or any of these neighborhoods, if that's what you're doing, you want to label yourself as Trillium's expert realtor, or something along those lines, something catchy that will catch on. But this is a way that if you're constantly sending them the numbers of, hey, we've increased, it's increased, your homes have increased in this area, 17% over the last year, or this is what it did this month. Here's what it shows, that you're on top of their neighborhood and that you really are the expert and are going to be able to help them more than anyone else that may be, in their realm of being a real estate agent. So quarterly or monthly neighborhood market updates are really a good idea, especially in this market. The monthly updates would really help separate you, because it's changing every 30 days. So, it's just kind of a crazy market that way. So
I'll interject. RPR, sorry, Rob, RPR is really good at showing these like with great graphics and whatnot. And I'll just say in just 1 month, even like our house is appreciated, it's up 5%. So like that is probably the whole neighborhood. You could ultimately just say in just this past month, and you can get like a flyer through RPR. Houses in this neighborhood have appreciated by 5%. You know, if you're interested in finding out how much your house is worth, like give me a call. So it's just then tying in that comparative. So you don't want to do compared market analysis for everyone, but you could do a neighborhood chunk, and then if they want to delve in further, then you can do it specifically for them.
Correct. Yeah, you're not sending like, you know, 123 Main Street, 124 Main Street, 125. You're not doing separate things. This is definitely a bulk, you know, just neighborhood overview of what's going on, what's sold, what the price points are, and what the general neighborhood average is. All right, so next one. There we go. All right, just listed and just sold flyers. So whether you distribute it by foot directly to doorsteps or sent in the mail, basically this is a way that you can show that your results. So your efforts and what you're already doing, so that kind of makes you more credible. So it establishes credibility, as I said, and it goes to that know, like, and trust that we're always trying to build. So if you have a new listing, the neighborhood should get a flyer about it. If you've got a just sold, the neighborhood should get a flyer about it. And that way it's constantly extra touch points that gets your brand and your name in front of the neighborhood. And so you see, remember that frequency of contacts is key to farming. So, the success of farming. So additional flyers, anything you can do, coming soon, price reduced, back on market. When you have open houses, really, you'll see obviously in the next couple of slides, it'll be door knocking, really maximize the listing, not to just sell that listing and do what's right for your client, but also to ensure the next sale and make sure that you're branding yourself as that neighborhood expert. How can you get more listings out of that neighborhood or more buyer clients, whatever it may be? That's what you're looking to accomplish here. Colin, you have anything to add on this one?
You can even piggyback off other agents. I don't know if this is unethical, but if something just sold, and even though it's from another brokerage, I would just make a flyer just saying this house just sold and slap my picture down at the bottom. You're not saying you sold it, but you're just saying that it just sold. Are you interested in selling? Yeah, you can use, if you don't have the business just yet, you can use other people's. Right?
Yeah, so you want to make sure that you're looking at whether they've checked off that box as can market my listing. Other brokerage cannot market my listing, but yeah, you can absolutely use recently sold comps in that neighborhood. You can definitely do that, but you want to stick to your listings and your brand for sure. Okay. Telephone calls to neighbors. So this is the calling, geolocation calling that we've talked to. There's a bunch of scripts out there for it, but this is another way to get you now talking to the neighborhood. So getting contact points, getting to know your voice, that you're a real person. You're not just someone sending flyers. You're local, and it's a way to kind of be able to develop that relationship, now taking that to the next level of I'm on a flyer, now I'm on on the phone with you. So you definitely, you can call and do the same thing that the flyers are doing. So the coming soon's, price reduced, back on market, hey Mr. and Mrs. So-and-so, we just want to give you a call, help me choose your neighbors. We just reduced the price of your neighbor's house. And I think that if you find anyone that's looking to buy it, I would be happy to entertain helping them make an offer. And also, by the way, while I have you on the phone, have you considered selling, or do you know anyone else in the neighborhood that's considered selling? It's just a way of being able to, an excuse to be able to call people and have more of a warm call instead of the cold call. Again, you calling them, inviting them to the open house, just in case that they wanted to come check it out, be a nosy neighbor. We're offering an exclusive opportunity for you to come in an hour before the open house and get a free look at, at the place or whatnot. So stuff that you can do there. The HOA directories, if you get a hold of that, that's going to give you all the phone numbers and all the email addresses. And also here, we had some great scripts that you can check out on this. We'll send you the web address. So it's the realestatetrainer.com. But we can send you the link if you want it, just ask for it and we'll send it off to you. Colleen, anything else you want to add to this one?
Yeah, no, I'm always a fan of it. If anyone ever wants to cold call for geo leads, and I'm always available for that because I literally have 3 future ones coming up who want to list at different parts of time next year. They're not ready now, but now they're on a drip with me. I followed up with them. I said, thank you for your time. I'm going to be sending them something for every holiday. I'm going to be trying to be contacting them twice a month from here on out until they are ready. So when they are ready, I'm the realtor that they're going to use. But this is
and just remember this again, the farming is what you're trying to do. It's trying to build your base. So right now with the farming, what you're doing is you're tilling the land. You're getting it ready to be able to put seed down to then grow into the crop that you're looking to get. So that's really what this is. This is all setting your base for future results. So this is going to take time. This is not always going to be an immediate sale. It's going to be something you're going to be able to make connections, make contacts. And yes, you will get some immediate sales depending on the volume that you're doing with these kind of activities. But what it really is trying to do is to set up the future sales and to set up your base for people to keep going and being able to keep touching them over the years. So when they are ready to sell, you're the first person they call because you've been contacting them for the last 4 years and providing them free advice and free counsel on what the market's doing so they can make the best educated choice. So that's really the mindset behind your farming. You will get some instantaneous results potentially if you happen to catch the right person at the right time. But again, this is just setting it up so that you can continuously have futuristic success. All right. Door knocking. So this is a traditional activity. It's been around for years. A lot of people have a lot of fun with it, and you want some door hangers that you can leave in case someone doesn't answer the door. Hey, sorry I missed you. Here's some information about what we do. But door knocking is an incredibly effective way because you're getting in touch with person-to-person interaction. So you're at the door, you're getting to have a conversation with them. You're introducing yourself, they're seeing a real person, and you're having a nice little chat about the neighborhood, what it has to offer, and maybe getting some stories of why they love where they live. And that way you can then turn around and use it as a sales tactic to attract potential buyers into that neighborhood. So there's a lot of definitely benefits to door knocking. And if you're providing some advice and someone was just talking to their spouse or their family saying I need to downsize or upsize or whatever, that's a good opportunity for you to potentially win a listing as well. So you just never know. I mean, if you don't do it, what's that quote from Wayne Gretzky? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And if you don't do it, they don't know who you are. You're never going to get an opportunity at that listing. So get in front of them, be able to be friendly, show them your personality. This is a great way to get that know, like, and trust kind of scheduled real quick. Colleen?
I always bring a notepad, like a notebook, and get down as much information as possible. Hand out your card or send out your card, but definitely take notes and be excited. Just be like, listen, I'm excited. I love what I do. I love helping people along the process of real estate. And just, you can control your attitude and your tone. And if you're excited, people are going to want that. They are attracted to that. So you're going to have better results if you just go up and just are upbeat and just make it like it's the normal daily thing. And but always take notes and always try and get like their email and find out if they're not ready now, when might they be ready to list. So find out the time frame too.
All right. For sale by owners and expired listings. So you always want to stay in contact with for sale by owners. Eventually, if they don't sell their property and they need to sell their property, they're going to want to list with a realtor, especially if they find that next property that they really want to buy, but they still have to sell in order to afford it. So it is something that works by calling for sale by owners and expireds. Expireds are people who have already said, hey, I want to list with a realtor. I know the value of realtors. It just didn't work out for my situation. And you just got to find out why and get yourself in the door. But they're typically very, very good farming ideas, especially if they're in the neighborhood you're farming. So, take a look at that. Who's already tried to list and maybe hasn't sold? Get after them, find out why. Maybe it was the wrong time of the market when they tried to get the price they were looking for, and now might be the best time. For sale by owners, obviously we've talked about all the time, but if you're an established realtor in that farming area and you have a for sale by owner that's in there, you're definitely going to be in the running if that for sale by owner decides to use a realtor, because you're known, you've got results, and it'll be an easier conversation for you the more farming you do in those areas. So as I said, we just talked about staying in continuous contact with for sale by owners. They're gonna tell you when they're ready to go. A lot of them want to try it first, and so you just kind of have to be patient with that. Don't convince them, and then say, okay, well, I'm gonna give you a call next week, see how it goes, and just continuously check in with them. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, that's just it. Like the for sale owners generally are not coming. You're not gonna get them on the first try. But if you just keep following up with them and doing what you say you're going to do, you're going to build that rapport and that trust, and they'll want to work with you eventually.
Yeah, and so this last bullet point here is for expired listings, create a hot sheet. So anytime a house goes expired in the neighborhood that you're farming, a great way to do it is, instead of picking up the phone and calling them, drive to the house and drop off some marketing, material and, some things that make you different. And then that way, and ask for the interview. Always ask, it's always asking for the sale, always ask for the interview, always ask for the opportunity. So say, hey, listen, I saw that your house just expired on MLS. I would love to interview for the job if you're still wanting to relist it with a real estate agent or a realtor. Please, I would love the opportunity. Can we sit down and have a cup of coffee? And that's see where it goes, see where the conversation takes you. But you got to ask, you got to put yourself out there, and you got to get in front of them as much as possible. So by dropping off, knowing that this is expiring tomorrow or just expired today, don't wait, get in the car, drive over, drop off your stuff, and see if you can get in the door, because if they're going to re-sign with their agent, once they sign, the opportunity is missed. So go ahead.
My script, sorry, my script is a little more abrasive with expires. It's say, when do you plan on hiring or interviewing other agents to get the job done of selling your property? Like, I just automatically assume that they're not going to use the agent they used before, and it's plant the seed of when are you ready to start interviewing different agents to get the job done. And it's abrasive, but kind of just guides the conversation.
All right. Yeah, and everyone has their own style. Some people, that really works. You got to work within whatever is authentic to you. So, Colleen, we all know we'll go right after it. Some people want to build that relationship and warm it up a little bit. Some people, need to really get to know you before they ask for the sale. But no matter what your style is, you've got to ask for the sale. If you never ask for the sale, then you're not giving them a reason to tell you yes or no, and being able to get to an objection as to why. And it's all about getting to that objection and then handling that objection. So open houses. We've talked a lot about open houses and how you can maximize them. It's not just about attracting buyers. It's really a tool for you to use to be able to get more listings. Yes, it will get you more buyers. Yes, it will help you establish your expert, but really what it gives you is an opportunity to meet the neighbors. It gives you an opportunity to say, hey, listen, we have this opportunity in your neighborhood. Come check it out. Come check out what we do for our clients and see what we offer. So if you're ever willing to sell or wanting to sell your house, we get the opportunity. So they're gonna take a look, and if you're blowing out the open house, they're gonna like that. It's gonna stand out. It's going to be different, and it's going to be something that people are gonna take note of, so that if they hear of everyone, they're gonna, hey, listen, I saw this great idea about the open house that they did over on 123 Main Street. You should check out this company. It was really impressive. Colleen?
I find that the neighbors too hang out longer than non-neighbors. So when they do come to the open house, they hang out more, and you are kind of establishing a relationship with them easily, just because you're talking with them. They're kind of just like comparing their house to their, this house to their house, especially if it's like similar models, and you're just building and just getting easy relationship building futuristic clients just by having open house and inviting the neighbors.
Yep. All right, email campaigns. So the stats are that, email campaigns definitely work, but less and less, because you're getting more and more junk mail. Less and less people are opening it. So you really have to make sure when you're sending an email that the subject line and the information is short, sweet, to the point, so they actually read it. And you really want to catch their attention. So but the best thing to do with the email campaigns is make it as user friendly as possible. So if it's something that's consistent, make it consistent, so it's something that that they want to open. So you definitely want to, this is a tactic that you want to use, because it's really helping your brand, and you want to make sure that the second that they're sending it, your brand is noticed. You always want to get their email address, because then you can get the permission to send them things, such as market updates and newsletters and whatnot, and let them know what is changing in their neighborhood, to keep them informed and keep them on top of it. So for them, it's a useful tool to gain knowledge. For you, it's a useful tool to stay in touch with them, because they're going to see your name. Even if they're deleting the emails, they're going to see it. Colleen? You want to talk about CRM?
Oh yeah, well, CRM, ultimately, CRMs, I don't know how many people are using a CRM. Like JT and I completely believe in Realty Jugs, just because it really does just keep you on track. And they have things you can easily send out for holidays. So you want to try and get 2 emails out to them every month. So if there's literally like a holiday every single month. So that's one that you can do. And then the second one is the market update. So but what you have to have a CRM in order to kind of manage all of these people and all these prospecting contacts, because if you don't, they're going to fall through the tracks.
All right, social media and Facebook. So we all know that this is a big branding opportunity, and can be a lead generating source as well. So joining and creating neighborhood Facebook pages are huge. I know that there's a lot of very active neighborhoods out there, and it is a great way. You want to stick to the ones that are smaller in size. So more micro neighborhoods, and if you don't have one in your immediate area, create it and start inviting your neighbors into it. Start inviting people of that area into that specific neighborhood. So for instance, like Vero Beach neighborhood is a massive one that has like 20,000 plus people in it. That's probably not the best arena for you to try to be branding and working, because even though there's a lot of people, there's also a lot of content, and your stuff is going to get lost in the weeds. So what you really want to do is try to focus on those micro neighborhoods and really get in touch with the 20 to 50 people that might be in that neighborhood Facebook page that you've either created or that's a little bit smaller. And that way your brand will start to take off, and then they start liking you. And as they do, that 6 degrees of separation, they start telling people about you and what you're doing and what you're offering. All right. Block parties is a really good one as well. So shut down the neighborhood, throw a block party, throw a a barbecue. It's a great way to get everyone together in a fun atmosphere, and you're sponsoring it as the local exit agent. So it's a great way to do it. You can make a big thing of it, get bounce houses, hot dogs, hamburgers on the grill, and definitely make it a spectacle and something that people are going to want to come to and people are going to talk about. And it's everyone likes to come together at the party, and it's a great way to kind of get to know all the neighbors. And if you throw a little contest or something along the lines of either collecting business cards or some sort of sign-in and door prize giveaways, so you can collect some data as far as name, address, and phone number, at least, or email. Now you're starting to build your database based off of these things that you're doing. It's all about collecting the information and the data. So whenever you're doing something, make sure there's a tool that's useful for you to be able to manage that connection and be able to contact them later. Even if it's just hey, thanks for coming to the neighborhood block party. Hopefully you had a great time. And, by the way, I'm a local realtor. Can I send you some market updates? And it's a good way and a good excuse to be able to call them and follow up with how that went. Neighborhood websites. So here's some things about creating specific neighborhood farming sites. I believe Bernadette actually has done this, and it looks awesome. So Bernadette, do you actually want to talk about this real quick? I know I'm throwing you on the spot, but
no, that's okay. With Waterford Lakes, I try to stay within just Waterford Lakes on the next door, because like you said, it's a smaller range of people. And I did actually take the suggestion that you and Colleen had about doing a Halloween pet costume party, but instead I didn't make it specific to Halloween. I just put a picture of Waterford Lakes, and I wrote up, as a current resident, would you be interested in attending, hosting an in-person small gathering as a way to network and meet and greet, and celebrate the spirit of community. And although there's 260 some houses in here, not everyone is on Nextdoor. Maybe like 30% of the neighbors are registered. So the response I got is 11 votes was what it came out to, but 82% of the people said yes and 18% said maybe. Wow. But only the people that commented, I could see who they were. The poll makes it so that it's anonymous. You can't, unless somebody else knows how to do this, I don't know how to do it on Nextdoor to see the actual names. Unless someone comments, then I can see where they are and I can message them to follow up. But that's where I kind of ran into a problem, because now I didn't know who responded. So then I closed the poll. I left it open for like 2 weeks, then I closed it. And my path is to maybe say, those of you that responded, if you could private message me and then work from there. But a lot of times I just post like things that are happening just in Vero Beach, like events and stuff, just to kind of keep my name and face a little bit relevant out there without being like selling something to them.
Right. Yeah, and that's good. And I think with those kind of events, it's definitely the poll is great, but you saw no one said no out of those 18 votes. So, I would, if I were you, I would probably put something into place and maybe send a postcard out to the entire neighborhood, inviting them to this event. I know that they did it in one of our past neighborhoods. They did like a neighborhood get together for, I think it was Easter or something one year. And, it was very well attended. And it was great. And they just sent a postcard out. It was a local realtor that did that. And they sent a postcard out and had you RSVP. So then, you send an email to RSVP or call them and let them know. And that's how they captured the data. So, so that's another good way to do that.
Thank you.
So this is the video. It's about 5 minutes long. So we're going to go a couple minutes over just so you know, but can you see the video?
Or we can also send it to
No.
you.
You can't see it?
What?
Hold on, let me I think I just need to new share this. Hold on.
Give me a second. I gotta walk away.
All right, ready? You see it now?
It's fine.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Here you go.
Okay, I'll get the card back out in the middle of the meeting with my agents. Can you call back in 10, 15 minutes? Thank you very much. Bye. Is this? Rob, did you explain what this video is about? Does everyone know what this video is about? Deb? You do? Okay, perfect.
Yeah, we explained it at the beginning.
Oops, okay. Just to let you know which areas is good to farm. So they say you generally don't want to farm more than 1,000 contacts. Through this, you can print up to 2,000 free labels a month through RPR. And the whole point of the video is just you don't want to farm an area that's only had one sale the past year or that doesn't have a really good turnover rate. So it's all about just taking the total number of homes and dividing it by the total homes sold the past 12 months. So if you want to get a number that's greater than 5, the turnover rate, if it's greater than 5, that means it's a pretty good area to farm. So
Yep.
that's that.
So yeah, and that's just shown, and that's right on RPR. So you can get that because you're a realtor, you get access to that. And it's a great way to be able to, you know, as you said, access data, access those reports, access certain things that really can help you determine whether that's the farming area. And then, you know, easily get you the list and the addresses of the names and people that live there to be able to help you with your mailing lists. So we're over our time. So I want to end it there. If you have any questions, we'll hang out for a couple more minutes and we can answer them. But otherwise, have a great week, and I'll look forward to seeing everyone soon.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I'll send out that RPR and how to do it, like how to do the list, how to figure out if it's a good area. Really is interesting once you see the numbers, how certain neighborhoods sell more and turnover more. So it's a step-by-step how to do it. I'll email it to you guys.
Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you. Have